Hello, welcome. Can I ask you a question? Of course. How do you get through a friendship breakup? Um, Very interesting question. It's kind of, I would say it's definitely hard. It really is hard, but sometimes you just got to put yourself in that other person's shoes, I guess, and just kind of think about like maybe what they're going through or just something that you could either do to try to help that relationship or friendship, or unless if it's something on their end, then obviously they need time for themselves at that point. But I mean, it definitely is hard, I would say, but sometimes you just gotta do you and do what you need to do for yourself, especially if it's something that makes you really happy and really healthy. What I like to do is distract myself with certain activities, like things like art, for instance. That's something that definitely distracts me a lot. But of course, it's different for everybody. Hello, welcome everybody, welcome. I'm so late. Never. Honestly, I thought I was gonna be late to my own live. You're actually pretty early. It's only been, I think, 3 minutes now. Because I'm struggling, I really am. I keep thinking about them, but I don't know if they're gonna, like, come back. You know, honestly, that's kind of a bad mindset to have, sort of, is thinking that they're gonna keep coming back and stuff like that. You know, while you're young, stuff like that is gonna constantly happen. Everybody is growing yet, and everybody has their own minds and perspectives and whatnot. And sometimes you just lose people, mainly because other people may change or just grow. And sometimes they just, they don't have the same perspectives as you anymore. And, it's just different. But yet again, it's just something. I'm not saying that you should get used to it, because obviously it's not going to happen your entire life. But that's just how it is when you're young. Sad to say. But sometimes you just gotta find the right people to hang around with, and usually you'll have them forever. I'm only here now because some guy on Fortnite wanted me dead so bad after I had just killed another guy. Oh lord. I haven't played Fortnite in a very, very long time. Very long time. So right now I am working on some plants. I've started a little bit on the background a little bit. It definitely looks way darker on camera. You can't really see much of the details and whatnot. Um, but thank goodness it's just a live and not an actual uploaded video, because I would crash out. So this is what I have so far. Not too much going on. I'm just working on the plants a little bit here and there. After I'm done with the plants, I believe I will work on the rocks next. You need to hop back on. They added the Power Rangers. Yeah, it's definitely been a very long time since I've played Fortnite. Hopefully we can get some more people in here. I know at certain times not everybody is so active on YouTube. But I did want to change my schedule around for you guys, especially since, school started back up, and I want everybody to have the chance to watch my lives. Like a decade. Not that long, but definitely a very long time. So on weekdays, I will be going live at 6 o'clock every single, or not every single day, but every other day for weekdays. For weekends, I'll probably keep it at like maybe 9 o'clock or something like that on specific days. But I'm not exactly sure with that one yet. But I do want to keep a, you know, same scheduled routine and stuff, especially since school started back up. But around summertime and whatnot, I guess that doesn't really matter too much. But I will keep posting the schedule so everybody knows. Indeed, and I also post the time zone stamps too as well. For USA, I know there's so much time stamps and stuff for other countries and whatnot, but that is a lot of typing. But you know, I did what I could do, so maybe in the future I'll probably start typing out other time zones for other countries and stuff like that. It's just, that is so much typing. So much typing. And yet again, this is just a reminder, my Halloween polls will be starting on September 22nd. I'm going to keep reminding everybody here and there, but I'm very excited about that. And I'll probably start the first drawing like maybe a day after the poll or 2 days after the poll. I know it wouldn't be October yet, but I do want to get the sketch in, especially at least have the first drawing at least perfectly sketched, because I am really excited about this and I do want to at least have one good drawing. How long does it take you to convert to other zones? Not that long. I usually use I don't know what it's called, but it's like an app or something like that. Or no, not an app. I use Google and I look up time zone converters. So I use that sometimes to, you know, depending on what time it is, like if it's 6 p.m., I'm doing lives, or 9 p.m. or whatnot, I sit there and actually convert all of them. But it's not that long. It only takes like a few minutes. Hello, welcome. Nice to see that there is some more people joining here. If you think you're late, you are not. I am just getting started. Halloween is definitely the best holiday, definitely. I mean, I used to really love Christmas a lot, and don't get me wrong, I love Christmas. I love the pretty wrapping papers and the music and the lights, but Halloween is definitely it for me. I don't know, so just something about it, like the sense of like the pumpkin smells and the movies. I don't know, it's just like really fun. I actually got my hair trimmed, I think yesterday, sadly, but it had to be done because I am growing out my hair. So right now it's kind of short again, but I only took like an inch off the bottom, so it's really not that much. But it definitely helps boost, growing out your hair. So, I mean, if you guys like are growing out your hair, trust me, it is recommended to get hair trims. Alright, so I'm gonna go on to this side over here. I don't know exactly how long I'll be on live today, but hopefully at least for an hour. I do want to get a good amount of this done, especially the background more, besides just the plants. Funny joke, right? If you mean about the hair, sadly not. But it's something you do have to do, especially if you want very long, healthy hair. Your hair tends to break a lot and damage so much easily that way, especially as it's growing out. So when you're growing out long hair, you have to get those damaged ends trimmed off, especially along the bottom or even just flyaways in general. It definitely helps your hair grow out faster and healthier. I never realized hair was so complicated. It definitely is. I did have a lot of very, very long hair when I was younger, but I did end up cutting it at some point, and I feel like that was just so much easier than having long hair. But when I did have long hair when I was younger, it was so hard to keep up with it. Not because of the cuts and whatnot, but my hair was so damaged that I just couldn't grow it out anymore. So I had to make that big change and cut my hair off, sadly. But here we are again, trying it again. Trying to be very careful in this area because it's kind of hard to see the outline of this plant that I am coloring. But I think I'm doing good so far, I think. Just trying to be very, very careful. I hope we can get some newer people in here. I do love to see new faces. Well, not new faces, but talk to new people. I'm trying to figure out what I did on this side. I feel like I didn't fully... Yeah, I did mess up a little bit there. Sometimes what I like to do when I miss a spot or if I accidentally erase a little bit, if I still have a lot of color in that area, I just use my smudge tool to kind of brush it out. That way, if I am using a transparent color, then I wouldn't have to worry about this. And then it looks very bad and very blotchy. But I believe this is a different color. But either way, it looks horrible. So definitely comes in handy. Alright. Work on this smaller part down here again. I definitely want to do something different at some point for a next background. I feel like this is something that I kind of done before, just maybe not with the plants all around like that. But I feel like I should do something like with mountains in the future, maybe. I definitely do love mountains. I don't think I've ever drawn mountains before, so I feel like that'd be definitely a huge challenge for me. And I hope everyone's day or night has been going good so far. I know it's been kind of hot lately, especially in my area. I feel like it's, I don't know, scorching hot. It's scorching hot over here. But I believe the weather is supposed to be like in the upper 80s to 90s for like 2 weeks. And it's kind of bad, honestly. Don't get me wrong, I love summer, just the heat, not so much. Hello, welcome. I'm glad to see that you finally made it to the live. I missed 2 in a row. I feel like you missed more than that though. I'm not exactly sure if I've seen you in the other lives or not. Yet again, I could be wrong. Who knows? Hello, welcome. Nice to see there is more people joining here. Yet again, still trying to be very, very careful. Yeah, I have no idea how that viewer top fans thingy works. I have no idea. I'm going to assume you live a little north based on that temperature comment. I feel like I kinda live, well, not directly in the middle of the USA. I wouldn't say that. But it's definitely, it's pretty hot. It's pretty hot. I wouldn't say that it gets too hot here, but the way global warming has been these past few years, it's definitely starting to get hotter and hotter. I just watched Wednesday Part 1. It's so good so far. I've watched, I think I'm almost done with episode 2. I haven't been able to watch it lately, but I love it so far. I feel like it's so much better than, the first season. Sadly, I hate that the part 2 of it, the rest of the 4 episodes come out like September something, or I think it's September 6th, I believe. But either way, I hate that they did that. I really do. Because if they leave me off on a cliffhanger, I'm going to be mad. I'm going to. But let's not spoil anything for anybody because I don't know if anybody else is watching Wednesday right now. I know I'm definitely not finished with it, but is IBS Paint pretty good? Absolutely. It's definitely really easy to use for beginner artists. I never really used Procreate like that. I feel like it's too complicated for, a beginner artist, but obviously I'm not a beginner. But it's definitely way easier with the tools and stuff and the way everything is organized. Procreate, they do have so much more brush options and whatnot, but I do prefer IBS Paint. Maybe in the future I might switch my art program, but I do like this program so much better. It's not so complicated to use, and it's definitely my first app I've ever started off on with drawing. I believe I used one other app for drawing, but this was mainly for animations. I used to do animations on my page probably maybe a year ago now, but they're still there. They're still there. They're very short, so obviously they're shorts, but it was something fun to do. I wouldn't say animation is my thing, but it's definitely fun to experiment with. I'm just gonna separate this just a little bit. I think the only thing I don't really like about coloring the backgrounds is having to do it so precise. It definitely takes a very long time to get it done that way, but it is fun. I would definitely say that is really fun to do. But it's also very hard and complicated sometimes. I'm not exactly sure if this area is supposed to be a leaf or not. I have no idea. I use Clip Studio Paint. I've heard of it. I've never really used it before though. But I've heard that it's a really good art app. I have a poll idea. Let me know. I should definitely start doing those fun little polls for you guys again like I used to. What do you like better, Snapchat or Instagram? That is a very good poll idea. Alright, let's do that one, guys. Let's see. Alright, here is a fun little poll for you guys. I put Snapchat, Instagram, X, aka Twitter, and Facebook. So what do you like using better? Let me know. I prefer Snapchat, but I kind of been using Instagram a lot lately, so I feel like I'm kind of in between. It's kind of hard for me to choose. With face reveals. I guess we could say that. I love Facebook, but I do like Insta a little better. Yeah, I used to have Facebook when I was younger, but I don't really use it anymore. I just don't like it for some reason. I got a question. What's your question? Hello, welcome, welcome. It's kind of hard to see the lines a little bit on this, but I'm slowly starting to get it. But I hope you have a great day. I'll try to stay for like a little bit, but I can't stay for long because I have to go to bed at 8:30. That is perfectly fine. I do understand. Maybe on certain days, I will do my lives a little bit earlier for you guys, especially for certain people. But we'll see. We'll see what I can do. And thank you so much. Thank you. Exploded on me. Alright, so I got these plants, these two plants over here. I got them all done, but I'm going to add, I'm not exactly sure if I should really add shade to those considering they are already so dark. But I definitely do want to add that little texturing like I did with these leaves. So let's see if I can find that color here real quick. I'm drawing singers every day till I get tired of it for shorts on my channel. That sounds like a very fun idea. Yeah, I used to do stuff like that, especially when I was younger drawing. I used to do just fun little challenges. Sadly, I don't do that anymore. Student asked the question. That would make an awesome tattoo. Thank you so much. Thank you. Alright guys, I'm going to add these dots here. What are your guys' favorite singers? I might have drawn them. I believe It's kind of hard to say what my favorite singer is. I have a lot of them, but I could say one of them is definitely Jasmine Bean. I really love her style and her aesthetic, and especially the way how she puts out what she's feeling in songs. Yet again, if any of you guys are new, I have a community post. So if you guys are artists and you want to promote your page a little bit more, you guys can post your art in my community post or just anything like that. Have fun with it. I don't think I'm going to add too many dots to this, maybe more towards the top. You could do something like that. Did you ever create that playlist? You know, funny thing, I swear, I never had time to do it. But I really do want to do it. I really do. Self-promotion is allowed. If it's art related, obviously, because I'm an art channel, if you just want to be like, you know, go check out my page, or I'm trying to get to a certain amount of followers, you know, just in a respectful way, then that is perfectly fine. Hello, welcome. Nice to see that there's more people joining. Hello, hello. I never even knew you were live. Yeah, on my community thing, if you want to check that out, I've changed my live stream scheduling. So on the weekdays, I'm planning on going live at 6. I also have other time zones on there too if you want to check that out. On the weekends, I'm not so sure yet, but in case that you don't get notifications, I do have those schedules posted up there if needed. I know some of you guys don't get notifications when I'm going live, so just in case. Alright, that's all I'm going to do with those. Nothing too much. Nothing too crazy. Alright, so I think there's only a few plants left. Nothing too crazy. So we have these plants up here, and I also have a little bit down here, not too much. So we're definitely getting there with the plants. Alright. So I think for these plants up here, I want to do something, not maybe like a brown color, definitely not, because that's kind of what I did with this. I feel like maybe I could do, let's see what we can find here. This could actually work. I think this is a good color here. So I'm going to use this color here for these plants up here. And then there's one on the side here. And I don't think there's any more of those ones specifically, so thank goodness. We're definitely getting there. Mochi, guess what? You're on the floor. Uh-oh. Alright, let's see how the poll is doing. So 57% said Snapchat, 29% said Instagram, 0 for Twitter, and 14% for Facebook. I kind of expected Snapchat to be up a little bit higher. I know a lot of people love Instagram, but I feel like a lot of people use Snapchat a little bit more. But I feel like that could just be me. I have no idea. If you guys have any poll ideas, let me know. I'm off the floor. In a few minutes here, I'm going to check our subscriber count. So I think the last time I checked, it was at 1,217, I believe. Mochi, I got a question. Nothing suspicious. Of course. Go ahead. What's your favorite Halloween decorations? I'm not exactly sure how I would make that a poll though. Like, I'm thinking of Halloween decorations. I'm just not exactly sure how to word them, if you get what I mean. Pumpkins, spiders. Alright, I guess we can do that. I guess we can do that. Alright. So, what is your favorite Halloween decorations? Alright. So hopefully I spelled that right. Hopefully I did. I'm just catching up on the comments here for a second. Alright. So what is your favorite Halloween decor? Do you like spider webs, pumpkins, anything cute like ghosts? I really do love ghost like plushies and stuff like that, especially around Halloween time. I love that. Or do you guys like something more gory? I'm going to have to make my brush very, very tiny for this one. This is definitely going to take the longest, I would say. I'm gonna have to go, sadly. That is perfectly fine. If you guys have stuff to do, or if you guys need to go to bed for school tomorrow, perfectly fine. To whoever is leaving right now, I love you guys, and I hope I see you the next live. Hello, hello. Welcome. Nice to see that there is some of the OGs in here. Definitely some people that I haven't seen in a minute. Being super, super careful. Super careful. No one's ever late. Although it has been a great minute since I've started the live, no one is ever late, trust me. Although I really, really love this plant, I know it's going to take a very long time to go around each leaf. And don't get me wrong, I really, really do love it. So of course I'm going to keep it, but it's definitely going to take a very long time to finish this one specifically. I do have to fix this area up right here. All right. The one purple profile with the letter K is threatening me. I did not see anything bad so far. Nothing bad. But in case, please everybody be respectful. I know Carlos is probably just joking. Alright. There is currently a gnat in my room and it is bugging me. That's another thing I don't like about summer is that the bugs get in so easily. Yeah, I definitely don't like bugs. Alright, so the poll, we have 11% for spiderwebs, 22 for pumpkins, 0% for ghosts, and the winner is something more gory with 67%. I'm definitely very surprised with that specifically. I thought you guys would most definitely pick either pumpkins or spiderwebs more. Definitely very surprising though, very surprising. Not a lot of people like gory stuff, especially with decor. I think they're neat, but I don't like them being around me. Absolutely, I agree with that, Nightmare. I do like certain bugs, but I feel like they do tend to get annoying, especially, if they're just flying around you or just crawling on you. It's very creepy, very creepy. Alright, so since most of you guys know, on September 22nd, my Halloween polls are going to start. So I do need some more ideas. No one say anything yet, so what's going to happen is I'm going to make a Q&A. So once I make this Q&A, feel free to say any of your favorite Halloween characters or any of your favorite Halloween movies, horror related, anything like that. Just let me know. I'm going to take this poll off real quick and I'm going to start that Q&A for you guys. Alright, so name a horror movie or character. Let me know. I do have a huge chunk so far on my list, but if you guys have any more ideas, let me know. I can add it to my list. If it does seem like I am ignoring you guys, trust me, I'm not. Now and then I look away from my screen just to, work on the piece a little bit here. So I do apologize if it seems like I'm ignoring you guys. I do try to respond as much as I can. Yes, Carlos, what's your question? I'm going to leave the Q&A up for a little bit, just so if anyone doesn't type in there right away, you guys are still thinking or even looking up a character or movie, just take your time and let me know. Very easy to draw. Definitely very easy. Yet, if some of you guys don't know, if I have a very large chunk on the list, considering I'm only doing 4 polls within this timestamp, I have to circle some of the ones that I feel like most of you guys would like to see the most. So even though I do have a huge list, there is only maybe 10 or more that is circled right now. Face reveal. Sadly not yet. But at some point in the future, I definitely do want to do one for you guys. I like the Little Nightmares games. I really do love those games as well. I believe I drawn one of the characters in the past, but I think I deleted the drawing because I didn't like it for some reason, um, sadly. But I could also add that to my list too. Maybe that's something that I could redraw. My question actually went through go up. I did scroll up a little bit, and I guess on my end it didn't go through, but I don't know. I will have to go, but I hope you have a great day for emoji. Alright, you have a perfect day yourself, or night, wherever you're from. And thank you so much for joining. Alright, so let me just continue doing this for a minute. It's definitely a little bit too small. I could probably go a little bit bigger there. Megan 2.0. I actually do have Megan on my list. I didn't add the 2.0 thing because I feel like people are more likely to like the first one better, I guess. Mainly because I feel like her design was a little bit better, at least with the outfit wise. But that's just my opinion. I feel like the outfits in the second one were just a little bit too bland. But I do have her on my list. Do you like Sonic the Hedgehog? I've never actually watched any of the movies or played any of the games, but I do think he's a cute little character. Sadly, I'm not able to give out that specifically. That is a personal account, but if I did have a Instagram for my channel at some point, then I definitely will give that out to you guys. But if it's something personal like that, it's, something that I can't do. Smile 2 is also a really good movie. Terrifier as well is also a really good movie. ℚ𝑜𝒸𝒽𝒡 Memories. It's a Sonic survival game. That sounds like a really fun game. Yeah, anything related to my personal life, sadly, I'm not able to give that out to you guys, mainly, to protect myself and the people in my household. But that's how pretty much any YouTuber is. But if I did make a Instagram in the future, I would definitely do something art related, but I know that platform is kind of toxic a little bit with art and stuff. A lot of people tend to steal art a lot on there, and I think I'd probably be really upset if that happened to me. That is funny. That is actually funny. I guess she put you two on sale. Alright, I'm getting there a little bit. I am definitely struggling now, considering it's starting to get harder and harder to see the lines, but I'm getting there. I tried to draw a pumpkin, you don't want to know how that went. Uh-oh. I think I tried drawing a pumpkin before. It was last year, I believe, for a Sally drawing, but that turned out horrible. It was really bad. And at that point, I kind of just gave up on that because it was just so bad. It was so bad. Hello, welcome, welcome. Nice to see that there's still more people joining. Been trying to draw like a demon thing, but I am still no good at drawing people. Definitely does take a lot of patience and time. Just give it some time and trust me, it will be worth it. But just keep practicing, and at some point that practice will definitely catch up with you. This area is definitely a lot harder, I would say. Definitely struggling, definitely struggling. I think I'm doing alright so far though. I would say I'm definitely doing decent. For anyone who is new, my name is Mochi. I am a dictional artist here on YouTube, and I love to connect with my subscribers and draw illustrations. If you love art, please feel free to subscribe and feel free to like the live stream. I love to have new people here in my community. Hi Mochi, guess what? What's up, what's up? Alright, I think I did decent. It was definitely really hard to find the guidelines a little bit. So some of them I do have to erase, but I think I did good. Wrong layer. Uh-oh. Alright. Okay. Thank goodness I didn't accidentally erase anything. How do you draw so good, Mochi? Definitely a lot of practice. I was really bad at the beginning of 2023, is kind of around when I first started digital art, but a lot of practice, a lot of patience. Patience is definitely key with it. But being able to practice every single day, especially with anatomy and even other stuff, is definitely very important with art. Everybody's longest relationship. That is a very, very interesting question. Do you play Forsaken? Sadly, I don't. The question wasn't for you, Mochi. Uh-oh. I mean, I was going to answer that, but considering it was not for me, I can't answer for a reason. Interesting. Because it'd be weird, right? I don't think so, no. Why'd you say interesting like that? Who knows? Who knows? Emoji, you're scaring me. I'm not trying to scare you. It's terrifying. Yet again, not trying to scare you. I think it's time for you guys to know anyway. So, that trip that I took a while ago, this is so awkward. I'm trying so hard not to laugh, guys. I'm trying so hard. So, I am actually in a relationship currently. And this is my longest relationship. So my longest relationship, aka now, is a year and 2 weeks so far. But that trip that I took a while ago was for that. We took a little trip together to celebrate our 1 year. And eventually I was going to tell you guys, especially because some people were asking where I went and why I was gone so long, but it was kind of hard to kind of explain where I went because I felt like it wasn't really something that I shouldn't tell you guys, but yet again, it's not really anything bad, I don't think, so. Definitely a very awkward moment, I would say. Very awkward. But at least we got that out of the way, right? Did you tell them about us? He actually is subscribed to me. So, I mean, he has been in the live before. Obviously, I'm not going to say any usernames or anything like that, but he does. And he is very supportive of what I do. My brain stopped for a second. Yet again, did not try to scare you, Carlos. Honestly, I feel like I kind of scare myself sometimes when I just like laugh for no reason. But I did feel like it was definitely time because I feel like I definitely will have a lot of times where I am gone for like certain things like that, and I definitely had to say it at some point, definitely. A whole different thought process on everything. Is it build or is it Rex? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. They don't really, I would say they don't really talk in here, and they don't really join often. So it's definitely not someone that you think. She's like 18. Close enough, close enough. Alright, so I just finished this area over here. Looks pretty decent. I'm not exactly sure if I'm loving those plants or not, but I am going to go ahead and move over to this side now. He just called you old. I wouldn't say that's old. It's Justin, isn't it? No, absolutely not. I'm not currently in a relationship. My longest one was about a year and 2 months. Well, hopefully I can get there someday, hopefully. Definitely getting there. It's going. And honestly, that's not a bad thing either. I feel like, honestly, like, if you don't really like relationships like that and you're not ready for one, like, that's good. That's healthy. With certain people, I know some people do feel the need to be around other people, especially in that type of sense, but that one guy. Yeah, I have no idea what you're talking about, Carlos. It's a guy, right? Yeah. You're funny. You're absolutely funny. I'm still head over heels for this girl, but I don't think she feels the same. I'm also attracted to this guy, but I'm not sure if he swings that way. Honestly, just give it time. Sometimes if you rush things like that, I feel like it definitely can hurt you in the end, but you know, if you just talk to one of them, especially the one that you actually do want to be with, just give it time and try to observe that person a lot. It definitely is pretty scary, though, I would say. So stalk them. Absolutely not. Don't do that. But what I mean is when you're talking to them, observe like the personality and just try to see how they are as a person. Because if you get with someone that doesn't really fit the type of person that you want to be with, especially personality wise, that definitely doesn't really work out in the end, I would say. It's that guy from that one live. I mean, I can't really say anything because, yet again, I don't know who that guy is. Thanks for the advice, Mochi. Of course, of course. You mean that guy that was flirting with me like a couple lives back? And I think, I'm not exactly sure, but I don't think he had a profile picture. I'm not exactly sure. Yeah, no, that I didn't know that guy. I honestly didn't. That's why I kind of avoided him a little bit, because I wouldn't say I was uncomfortable, because I wasn't. It was more like I didn't know him, and it was kind of weird that he was complimenting me like that. Yeah, I have no idea. I do tend to get compliments a lot, but who knows? Who knows? And he has children. Yeah, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Yeah, I don't have kids, guys. I don't. Like I said, I do end up getting guys in here sometimes that do tend to compliment me and say things, but I try my best to ignore them. I really do, because sometimes it gets a lot of bit weird. A lot of bit weird. I probably will be getting off live here pretty soon though, and I definitely will be working on this piece off live as well. I do want to get a lot done with this still, but I think maybe after this plant I'll probably get off. It's definitely going to take me a minute though. Isn't Carlos just Carlos? Indeed. Are you going live tomorrow? Sadly not. But I think that's a good thing though, because then it would be Saturday and I can go live later, meaning that we will have more people in here depending on the time. I do have this chart on my YouTube Studio app that helps me see when you guys are on the most, and that helps me sometimes pick out times for when I should go live. So the next time I will be going live is Saturday, sadly, but I will make it last because it is the weekend. So you're not going live tomorrow? Sadly not. I do go live every other day, unless if something comes up, then I do tend to let you guys know. So if I go live one day, then I'm not going live the next day. I go live the day after. Unless if it's like an emergency or something like that, I do like to let you guys know beforehand. And considering that the next time I'll be going live is on Saturday, then that does give me enough time to think what the weekend times are. But it's definitely going to take me a minute to upload that, considering I do have to convert a lot of the timestamps, but it will be up. I do have to erase a little bit here. Hopefully I got it. I'm not exactly sure if I did. There we go. All right. Still working on erasing the area a little bit there. This part is definitely going to be the hardest because it's hard to see where the guidelines is like the other one. Krampus. That's a good one as well. What is happening in this chat? I have no idea. Is it this guy? No, it's not. Yeah, it's not him, guys. It's Carlos. No, it's not. You guys are gonna be guessing forever. I'm going to get off and hop in the shower. That is perfectly fine. I'm probably about to end my live stream anyway, but I will be on stream again on Saturday. Alright, guys, so this is what I have so far. I know a lot of it is solid colors, but I definitely will be adding more details to it if I can. I am planning on adding water droplets to the leaves like I did with her shoes. And I will be adding a waterfall in the background if you guys missed the last few live streams. But I will be adding a waterfall, and I definitely will be working on those rocks here pretty soon. So I did have a lot of people that gave me more ideas for the Halloween poll. I'm very excited about that. We only have a little bit longer until we have to wait till those polls are in. I do love you all so very much, and I'm so glad that you guys joined the live stream. It has been, I think, an hour and a half or maybe almost 2 hours now that I've been on stream. But I definitely will be on live again on Saturday. I will upload those, those times and stuff for Saturday. So I will see you guys again on the next live stream. I love you all so very much, and thank you so much for joining. Hope you all have an amazing day.